as a Marine and stand up for America. No one wants to fight for Israel.
Why are you here? Why are you getting arrested?
Free Palestine, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Palestine will be free.
Chaos erupted inside a U.S. Senate hearing room after a dramatic confrontation between a senator and an anti-war protester left a man injured and stunned lawmakers and officers alike. What began as a protest against U.S. support for Israel quickly spiraled into a physical struggle that echoed across Capitol Hill. Tensions boiled over during a Senate Armed Services Subcommittee meeting when a military protester interrupted proceedings with a loud anti-war message that immediately halted the hearing and triggered a rapid response from security. The protester was identified as Brian McGinnis, a Marine Corps veteran and Green Party candidate for the U.S. Senate in North Carolina, who loudly declared that no one wants to fight for Israel while officers attempted to remove him. Video footage circulating online shows 3 Capitol Police officers struggling to subdue McGinnis as he resisted being escorted out of the hearing room, forcing the situation into a tense and chaotic struggle. Montana Republican Senator Tim Sheehy then suddenly rushed forward and joined the effort to restrain the protester, grabbing hold of McGinnis's leg as officers attempted to carry him through the doorway. But the confrontation escalated further when McGinnis hooked his arm around the doorframe, attempting to stop officers from forcing him out of the chamber as security struggled to pull him free. In the footage, Sheehy can be seen wrapping an arm around McGinnis's shoulder and attempting to pry him away from the doorframe moments before a loud snapping sound can be heard on camera. The clip appears to show McGinnis suffering a serious arm injury during the struggle, with witnesses later suggesting that either his wrist or lower arm had been broken during the confrontation. Sheehy later reposted the video on social media, defending his actions and claiming he had stepped in to help de-escalate what he described as a volatile situation. The senator said Capitol Police were attempting to remove an unhinged protester who was actively resisting officers, and that he intervened in an effort to assist law enforcement in restoring order. According to Sheehy, the protester had arrived at the Capitol looking for a confrontation and ultimately got one during the heated encounter inside the hearing room. In another video recorded shortly after the incident, McGinnis is seen being escorted away while wearing what appeared to be a Marine Corps uniform and voicing support for the Free Palestine movement. The individual filming that clip claimed McGinnis's arm had been broken during the struggle, though officials have not publicly confirmed the exact nature of the injury.
We just witnessed a Marine veteran interrupting the hearing, and they broke his arm.
Why did he interrupt the hearing?
Because there is a war in Iran, and our military brothers and sisters are going to die for Israel, and we are here to say no. We do not support Israel. We do not want to die for Israel. Stop the war in Iran right now.
And what did they do to him?
They pulled him out, got his arm trapped in a door, broke his arm, tackled him to the ground. It was a very, very intense situation.
Capitol Police later released a statement confirming that the protester had been treated for an injury, but did not disclose specific medical details about what had happened during the clash. The department also revealed that 3 Capitol Police officers involved in the confrontation required medical treatment following the violent altercation inside the hearing chamber. According to the official statement, the incident began when an unruly man launched an illegal protest during the hearing and then violently resisted officers attempting to remove him from the room. Police said the protester's actions placed everyone inside the hearing room in a dangerous position as he fought back against multiple officers attempting to escort him out of the room. Authorities have now charged McGinnis with 3 counts of assaulting a police officer, along with 3 additional counts related to resisting arrest and obstructing the hearing. Capitol Police also emphasized that protests are not permitted inside congressional buildings, pointing out that designated areas outside on Capitol grounds are available for demonstrations. Prior to the incident, Brian McGinnis posted a fiery video on X vowing to confront the Senate head-on. He urged anyone disillusioned with the Trump administration to join his call for accountability.
Hey guys, I'm here in DC trying to speak out against the Senate and ask them why they're going to send our men and women to harm's way when our elected officials said that there would be no world war. Anybody who feels disillusioned and betrayed by our government, you're not alone. Join us in demanding accountability for this betrayal. Free Palestine, free America. Let's go.
News.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Shalom. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rahahakudash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, pushing this doctrine of truth to the elect of the nation of Israel who are scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth, pursuant to the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right, well, it looks like that chasm, that divide amongst these Babylonians, these Americans, is starting to grow. All right, we're seeing a growing divide between Satan, as we just read. Okay, these Edomites are against each other because they're starting to see the situation for what it is. All right, and this is in regards to the war that's taking place, that's ultimately going to culminate, okay, with culminate in World War III taking place. Okay, they don't want to see it happen. Okay, many of them. All right, he's a veteran. All right, was in the Marine Corps, and he sees the evil that's unfolding. He sees how Israel, like the scriptures say, is going to draw us out into this war. All right, that's what's going to happen. All right, we're seeing it unfold. All right, as we speak, and this is consistent with Bible prophecy. All right, so those of us in this truth, this is a wonderful thing to see. Okay, and we're hoping it intensifies. All right, because the quicker World War III happens and that chip, that RFID microchip comes, all right, and is mandated upon the world, well, guess what? Yahawashi, our Savior, is coming to deliver us from this wicked, evil kingdom. All right. So the sooner that happens, the sooner the kingdom of heaven is going to be established on this earth through our Savior. All right, let's read that again. And if Satan cast out Satan, all right, this isn't talking about spiritual Satan. This is actually talking about Edom. All right, Satan is representative of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, and this is talking about citizen against citizen here in Babylon the Great. He is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Well, it can't stand. All right, there's going to be further division amongst these Edomites, amongst these Babylonians, all right, until ultimately everything is going to fall apart, okay, and it's going to culminate in civil war, okay. But this, among other things, is why that's going to happen, okay. So this is an exciting time to see all this unfolding in real time, okay? Because for a while we were just reading about all this, Bible prophecy, but now it's actually happening in real time, which means our salvation is nearer than what we believed, all right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, okay? Because this revelation is Bible prophecy. All right, these Edomites being exposed for who they are, in their intentions, okay, which is evil, pure evil. And this is coming from the elite, all right? The common Edomite here in Babylon the Great is starting to see the evil, all right? They're starting to realize that they've been had, all right? They drank the wine of Babylon, and they got intoxicated with it, but they're starting to sober up and see things for what it is, okay? And drastic times sort of force you to see things, see reality for what it is, okay? You're forced to take a look at, forced to take a look at what's going wrong and why things are happening the way it is, okay? So a lot of these Edomites are starting to wake up and see that they've been had, okay? Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. Under that cloak of secrecy as Edomites, okay? Under the guise of being the white man, right? Now we know that they're being revealed as Satan. They're being revealed as the devil that the Bible speaks of, okay? The wicked. And he shall not be able to hide himself any longer, right? Because we know who he is now. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not, which means he will not be in control much longer, right? He's losing control of his kingdom, and this is why these Edomites are starting to lose it, because they see their kingdom falling. They see things in society starting to deteriorate, right? And they can look at the big picture. They have the gift of wisdom and foresight. They can look at the big picture and see, okay, if the small hats get us into this next war, well, that's going to lead to World War III, and we are doomed. So they see it. They see it. Okay, but unfortunately, they can't do anything about it. Okay, but watch things unfold, because Bible prophecy was undefeated. Okay, and things are going to play out the way it's supposed to play out. Okay, thus saith the Lord. Let's jump down to verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes, that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Teman are the wise counsel of Edom, okay, or the scientists, okay? This is actually representative of the German Edomites, but they're still a sect of Edom, a tribe of Edom. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. All right, so the least of the flock, of course, is Israel, is the small hats, small hat land, right? And they're going to draw who out? The Babylonians, all right, because this is all talking about the inhabitants of Babylon the Great, okay, in the last days here, okay, the daughter of Babylon. So the least of the flock, and we see that unfolding. We see how it's going to happen, right? Bibi Netanyahu's been over here in Babylon the Great, I want to say up to 7 to 8 times over the past 6 months or so, trying to encourage Congress, especially Bush. That's obviously of the executive branch. I think that's who he's trying to convince, because they didn't get approval from Congress, right? Ideally, it would have been nice for them to have gotten the blessing by Congress, or the authorization, let me say that. Okay, but they bypassed Congress, and Nero made the decision himself to go ahead and join forces with the small hats to invade Iran. Okay, so Lord's will, all nations will get involved sooner rather than later. Like I said, the sooner all this goes down, the sooner we can get the hell out of here. Okay, let it all blow to hell. Let it all fall apart. We're ready. Okay, tired of this shit. Tired of the evil and the wickedness and this this evil, wicked kingdom. All right. So anyway, that was just a quick hit. Lord's will, this was edifying. Listen, brothers and sisters, our redemption is drawing even closer. All right. It draws nigh. All right. It's exciting times. Get your spiritual house in order. Let's clean it up. All right. Prepare for the bridegroom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.